Hello Airfix fans and welcome back to another episode of Flight Deck. My name's Nathan and I'll be your captain on this journey. On this month's episode we take a look at the Titanic, as this month marked the 110th anniversary of its sinking in the North Atlantic. We take a closer look at the Bugatti Chiron starter set. The Fiat G50 is out this month, so we look at the fantastic box art, with some exciting news for Airfix Club members, and finally we take a look at your images. We've got a lot to get to this month, so let's get straight into it. I'm Nathan, we're Airfix, and welcome to Flight Deck. On the 15th of this month, 110 years ago, the unsinkable RMS Titanic sunk in the North Atlantic Ocean. RMS Titanic was an Olympic-class passenger liner owned by the White Star Line and built at the Harland & Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland. On the night of 14th of April 1912, during her maiden voyage, Titanic hit an iceberg and sank 2 hours and 40 minutes later, early on the 15th of April 1912, with the loss of 1,514 lives. At the time of her launching in 1912, she was the largest passenger steamship in the world. This kit here is our 400th scale RMS Titanic gift set. We have two other Titanic sets in our range, the slightly smaller 700th scale kit, and of course our RMS Titanic starter set in 1000th scale. The 30th of this month marks the 40th anniversary of the first Operation Black Buck. The aircraft at the forefront of the operation were the Avro Vulcan and the Handley Page Victor, taking off from RAF Ascension Island, also known as Wide Awake Island. 2 Vulcans and 10 Victors took on the mammoth 3,900-mile journey or 16-hour round trip to the Falkland Islands, the longest bombing raid in history at the time. The first Vulcan detected a fault and after just 20 minutes it had to fly back to Ascension Island, leaving the reserve Vulcan, XM607, to take on the rest of the journey. XM607 is now at RAF Waddington, currently undergoing a repaint. The Vulcan would have to refuel 7 times to make it to the island, and then once more on the return leg. The plan was a precarious one, with the Victors able to air refuel the Vulcan, but also take on fuel from the other Victors. Once arrived at the Falklands, the Vulcan's target was Stanley Airport. It dropped 21 bombs on the airfield in 5 seconds, taking the Argentinians by complete surprise. However, only a single bomb hit the runway. The operation was planned out 7 times. But only fully finished 6 times. The success of the operations varied, but the real success was in the boldness and the execution of the plan. First unveiled at the Geneva show in 2016, the Bugatti Chiron is a remarkable example of the state-of-the-art Bugatti engineering. As a successor to the iconic Bugatti Veyron, the Chiron has been developed to produce a staggering 1,479 brake horsepower. The breathtaking vehicle was capable of reaching an incredible top speed of 261 miles per hour. The starter set Bugatti Chiron offers exceptional detail and the perfect option for beginners at a 1/43 scale. The Bugatti Chiron starter set is available now. Our other brand new car starter sets are due for release very soon and are available to pre-order now. This month we launched a brand new challenge available to all club members. The Model of the Year competition aims to find the best modeller in the Airfix community. For the first time in Airfix history, we bring you this special new award category, the winner of which will receive an Airfix Club Model of the Year 2022 trophy and certificate, an Airfix kit of your choice, plus signed Adam Tooby box front artwork. Do you think you have what it takes to be the model of the year? Tag us on our social channels or email us at marketing@airfix.com. To enter, you must be a 2022 club member, and the deadline is the 1st of October 2022 at 5 PM GMT. Terms apply. Speaking of club members, the latest edition of the Club magazine has just gone to print and will be heading to club members very soon. This month has been a busy one for Sprutalk, with our 3rd episode coming out last week with Models for Heroes. A great chat about all the great things Models for Heroes do within the modelling community. Check out the episode in the link below. We also had a Sprutalk special episode this month. On this month's Sprutalk special episode, we had a very special guest. Head of Brand Dale and Airfix researcher Luke had the privilege of sitting down with Falklands fighter pilot and author, Lieutenant Commander David Morgan, DSC. David discusses his varied flying career with us, along with his input in the latest FRS-1 box art. The BAE Sea Harrier FRS-1 is available now. This version of the Sea Harrier is best known for its successful campaign in the War of 1982 in the South Atlantic, where it suffered no air-to-air losses against the Argentinian forces. They flew from both the carriers used in the operation, HMS Invincible and HMS Hermes. Here's a little clip from this month's Sprutalk special.
Is there anything that you've not flown that you sort of always wanted to?
Yeah, I'd like to fly a Spitfire because it's one thing my father flew and I haven't. I've flown a Mustang and I've flown a Yak 3. But it would be very nice to fly a Spitfire.
How was the Mustang?
The Mustang was lovely. It was like a Jet Provost with torque, is all I can say. And the aerobatics were just like a Jet Provost. I even used the same entry speeds and it seemed to work. Getting airborne and landing it's totally different. Getting airborne, if you try and use full power, it just takes you off the side of the runway. So you've got to really gently increase the power and get the tail up, make sure you're pointing in the right direction, then getting the power on. Landing, it's a standard tail dragger. You can't see the runway once you're in the flare. And then once you're on the ground, it can be very skittish.
To watch the episode in full, check out the link in the description below. We also plan to have more special guests on Sprutalk in the future, so to keep in the loop with the latest episodes of Sprutalk, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The latest addition to the Vintage Classics range is a kit which first appeared in an Airfix range back in 1967, but it's been a popular model ever since. The Fiat G50 is an important aircraft in Italian Air Force history, and was their first low-wing, all-metal single-seat fighter. It was also the first Italian fighter to feature a retractable undercarriage and an enclosed cockpit, although this feature was later altered as it was not popular with pilots. Early versions of the G50 fighter were hampered by a lack of range, and when around 50 aircraft were sent to take part in the latter stages of the Battle of Britain, they found themselves outclassed by the Spitfires and Hurricanes of the Royal Air Force. Featuring beautiful artwork created by the master of Airfix illustrations, Mr. Roy Cross. This cracking little kit should be available in model shops during April and will make for an attractive early summer build project and perhaps an unusual, if extremely attractive, addition to our built model collections. Finally, let's take a look at your images from the past month. First up, with one of the most original dioramas we've ever seen, it's an incredible creation from Paolo Conte. The Battle of Pearl Harbor in 70-second scale, absolutely beautiful model building and diorama creation using the Mitsubishi Zero and P-40B Warhawk by Tim Bullock. Believe it or not, this next kit is modelled by a 9-year-old. A 70-second scale Junkers GU87 B1 Stuka. Sent in by his dad Stephen, I think we can all agree this young chap should definitely keep up the modelling. Finally, we know this wasn't a model, but it was far too impressive not to share. Look at this impressive workbench sent in from Pavel. What does your workbench look like? Let us know in the comments below. Finally, we want your images. If you have any pictures of your models, if you're a beginner or an Airfix ace, we don't judge. Send them over to our social media channels or we might just feature them on the next episode of Flight Tech. That's all we have time for in this month's episode, but who would you like to see on the next Sprutalk special? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, please like and subscribe. Nathan, over and out.